Hello, old viewers, new viewers, and fellow reviewers. Today, we are going to talk about video Brinquedo. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail about this, because honestly, I just want to get this the fuck over with. I've tried to record before, but there's a problem with my camera, I don't know why. And I had already talked about ratatouille, and I don't want to spend too much time on this bullshit. So I'm going to go off the screen and check if the camera's recording every once in a while, like right now. Okay, good. Ratatouille was made in 2007, and it is a piece of bullshit. Alright? I sat there for 40 minutes, getting my mind raped. This is the rats. They were like, and my brain. No, stop, please, no. Because it's so boring. It's so bad that it is bad. Like, movies of this stature are usually so bad that it's funny. Brinquedo seems to think that, let's make our film so fucking bad that it's fucking painful. And everything from the animation, the sound design, the character designs, the voices, it's bleeding. Like, everything's bleeding. Okay? This isn't a mask, this is blood. With Sharpie drawn all over it. My pupils have fallen out of their eyes. Just because this movie was that bad. "15 minutes. The first 15 minutes of this 40-minute movie is nothing but people saying how Ratatouille is the best place around, it's the greatest place to go, it's so amazing, the food's so delicious, we don't give a fuck, just get on with the plot. And speaking of the plot, if this movie even has any, in Brazil there's a restaurant called Ratatouille, which is run by the main chef and the only chef. I don't know how you can run a restaurant like that. Too many people. As I was saying, Chef Marcel Toing. Just bounces off the tongue. I mean, tongue. Just bounces off the tongue. Toing, 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 toing. In fact, you ever heard that song by Eric Keller? Toinga, 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 toinga. No? Okay. And you see, he runs this restaurant. It's like the best restaurant around, and that's because he goes to human restaurants, but like there's a human restaurant right above his restaurant, and he steals ingredients fresh from their fridges and their counters, and sometimes maybe off the floor, I don't know. And the rats are just loving it because usually they just eat garbage. Now, there's a rival restaurant whose business has been plummeting ever since Ratatouille came into business. And they're just like, fuck this guy, we gotta get that secret recipe though. So they try to get that secret recipe, and that's just about it. 25 minutes of this movie are devoted to that plot, otherwise it's just Ratatouille, Ratatouille, everything's amazing at Ratatouille. Now, the way they try to go get their ingredients is silly as all fuck. Like, they suit up and shit in like some Mission Impossible kind of bullshit. Actually, I've never seen the Mission Impossible movies, but it kind of reminds me of Mission Impossible, especially since they fucking outright said Mission Impossible. And it's all like, they like put on their gear and shit, and the sequence lasts for a minute, and in those minutes, there's like 10-second sequences of the rats going like, just running all over the place. I don't know why. It's fucking ridiculous, man. It was honestly too painful for me to watch. It was 40 minutes that felt like 2 hours. Never had a movie experience like that. Never. The animation is shit, you know that. I don't want to talk about this movie anymore. That's basically a staple of all Brinquedo movies. The animation's shit. The voice acting is shit. Michelangelo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2003. I can never think of you in the same way ever again. You are now a toy in my heart. Let me think what I'd give this movie. Yeah, I think I'd give it a 1 out of 10. Based on entertainment value alone. I liked A Car's Life better than this bullshit. Oh yeah, and quick mention. The character designs in here are for shit. They're creepy. The women, they've got like rat breasts and it's just, ugh. Why did Brinquedo do that? They did that in another movie that I'm going to talk about in a few soons. Yeah, a few soons. Grammar, kids. I'm a genius. I'm a very literate person. But I'm going to talk about that movie soon. But why does Brinquedo do that? Like, first 2 girls in 1 cup, then Brinquedo. Brazil has some fucked up shit over there. It's just not right. Now, the next movie I'll be talking about... Hold on. Now that we've got that boring pile of ass out of the way, let's talk about another, a little more enjoyable boring pile of ass. What's Up, Balloon to the Rescue? There's not much to say about this movie. I wasn't really paying attention to it. I mean, you know, these movies are supposed to be rip-offs and shit. Ratatouille, Ratatouille, What's Up, Balloon to the Rescue, Up, Little Panda Fighter, Kung Fu Panda, Gladiformers, Transformers. That's all I can really say about it. Other than that, nothing much. I mean, yeah. You can always say the animation is shit, the movie is stupid or whatnot. I'm honestly just talking about it because it's a feature film that Bobsheaux did and he put it there on the list. And I wanted to include it because if I have some stuff to say about Ratatouille and Little Panda Fighter and Gladiformers, then I have something to say about What's Up, Balloon to the Rescue. All I gotta say is that there is one thing I do remember from this movie, and it is the racism. Like, seriously, this movie was nothing for the past 40 minutes, okay, 35 to 40 minutes that it was on. Then in those last 10 to 5 minutes, we get this new Chinese character, and they keep on doing stuff like calling him, like, rice balls and shit, and calling him, like, chopsticks or Chinese, man. I don't know what they called them. All I know is that they were being such racist assholes. Do we really want racist assholes as our main heroes? Like, why? Now there's the whole Frenchman thing too, but no one really gives a shit about that. It's mostly about the Chinese, man. Especially how they mistook him for Japanese, even though they were on the Great Wall of China. Fucking assholes. What's Up, Balloon to the Rescue is not as bad as Ratatouille. And it is not memorable either. These characters this movie is actually a sequel to another movie called Little and Big Monsters, which I also did want to talk about, but Bobsheaux didn't review it, so... And I feel as if I would have gotten more enjoyment out of that movie. Maybe. I don't know. Now, what is What's Up, Balloon to Rescue about? A scientist, a news reporter, and a kid, the scientist, like, builds a house. No. The scientist like puts something on his house that can make like make it fly or something, and then they fly, and then monsters and French dudes and bullshit, and I don't know the plot. All I know is that I watched this movie, I did not like it, I sat there for 45 minutes just going like, is it over yet? Come on, let it be over yet. This movie, I give it a 2 out of 10. A very low 2 out of 10. And I say that because it's not as bad as Ratatouille. Great, now that we've blazed through 2 piece of shits, let's go on to one that's not as much of a piece of shit as I think about it. You know, once I got to the little panda fighter, I was thinking to myself, this isn't quite bad, you know? I mean, there's a thing in Brinquedo movies that I noticed in both Ratatouille and What's Up Balloon to the Rescue. The lip syncing is for shit. Now I know, I've seen the review that Bobsheaux did of the little panda fighter, and he says, oh, they talk way too fast just to match up with the lips. I think they do a good job of lip syncing in the little panda fighter. And I don't think they speak too fast. Like, I didn't notice any of that. The animation, yeah, the animation. It's on par with Mortal Kombat The Journey Begins, which came out like a decade before. So, yeah, that's really all I had to say about Little Panda Fighter's animation. Oh yeah, the creepy character design? Not as much. The character designs were fine. They were fine. They weren't as creepy as Ratatouille. Except for this one bitch, this superficial bitch, who Pancata, as his name is, likes. She has a really creepy design. She's like a rat, but I think she's supposed to be a bear, but she looks like a rat and she's got teddies on her. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I know this seems like nonsensical rambling on, but you gotta understand that there's not much to talk about these movies because they are so boring and so uneventful. So let me tell you the plot of the Little Panda Fighter. Pancata is a janitor at the Bear Bar Box, or Bar Bear Box, I don't know what it's called. At the Bear Bar Box, I'll just call it that. He's a janitor and he wants to be a dancer, even though he works as a janitor at the boxing ring. And that's about it. Oh yeah, right. You see, at this boxing ring, there's this big bear dude with the mohawk, and he's got like the tough muscles, and his name is Teddy Thunders. And Teddy Thunders has been winning boxing matches in that place for like the past 2 years, and people are getting sick of it. Even though in the later scene, people are like, "Yeah, Teddy, let's go beat the shit out of this guy." So that's a nitpick right there. So it's really bad for business, and the owner, who is a former boxer, and his name is, what is his name? Polarizer? Oh yeah, Mr. Polaris, decides that, I can't, like, compete in the ring because it would break the contract that I have in order to own this place. So instead, I'm gonna mask myself like a luchador so that I can get into the boxing match, kick Teddy Thunder's ass, and bring business back up again. So he does that, but the thing is that his clothes, they smell really bad, and Pancata, I was gonna say smells like ass, but I felt as if I cussed enough already, and Pancata takes his clothes, and he puts them in the washing machine, he leaves them in there, and they shrink. So when he puts them on in the boxing ring, he looks like a panda, and they think he's Pancata, even though Pancata is like this big, and what's his name, Mr. Polaris, is like this big. So I don't know how they did figure this out until the end. And the stories match out because Mr. Polaris is not really He's nowhere to be found. Neither is Pancata, because Pancata's taken dance lessons with the Shifu of this movie, like Master Jin. Oh yeah, by the way, this movie... Wait, what was I gonna say about this movie? Oh yeah. Nah, I shouldn't say something about that. So because of the whole incident of the boxing match, Pancata, oh yeah, there's this love interest for Pancata, which I don't think she should be a love interest because she's superficial as all fuck. I feel as if that once she realizes that Pancata is a dancer, she would drop his ass, which I don't think she does by the movie, but that's what I was feeling, and I don't think she was a good match for Pancata. So, fuck that bitch. I don't remember her name, and I don't care. So the love interest, she starts being all up on Pancata, when earlier before she was all like, oh, Pancata, gross, you work as a janitor and shit. Man, I'm about to look at me some sexy handsomeness. And there's Teddy Thunders. And Pancata's just all like, oh shit. And Pancata comes back from his dance competition the next day after the boxing match, and she's all like, oh, Pancata, I never knew you were such a strong fighter. And so Pancata just decides to roll with it. Well, he doesn't decide to roll with it because, stupid him, he thinks they're talking about the dance match. But, you know, once he finds out that they're talking about the boxing match, he's like, oh, I never knew. We gotta tell the truth now, Mr. Polaris. And Mr. Polaris is like, do you know how bad that would be for business? And that's just about it. Oh, damn, there was another thing. Well, there's the plot for you. It's basic, but I don't hate it. I gotta say that this movie was a hell of a lot more entertaining than, say, Ratatouille or What's Up, Balloon to the Rescue, which is strange because it is actually a longer movie, coming in at 49-50 minutes. And I feel glad that I actually kind of watched it, you know? There's one thing I'd like to say about this movie. Sorry, if there's one thing I'd like to say about this movie, it would be its soundtrack. There's like this track throughout the movie that plays throughout the entire movie, and it starts to get tiring. Actually, no, there's two tracks. But the one track, it's like... Dun, 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 dun. It's like very... I couldn't take it by the end. It was just playing at random moments, and I'm like, really? Why are you doing this? But then there's another like dun 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 dun, and I'm just like, ugh. Although I do actually like the soundtrack. It's not good. It's actually shit, but I do like it. So I will give Brinquedo points for that. But I would like to say this to you guys, Brinquedo. The way Pancata dances. Can you try, man? I thought Brazilians were supposed to be a little more hype than Pancata just doing like, That is whack as hell. Don't you have like Carnival in your country? Ah, damn, there was another thing I wanted to say, but I forgot. Now, you'll notice I haven't said much about characters in these three movies, and that's because these characters have nothing on them. So I'm not commenting on the characters until we get to our last one. Overall, Little Panda Fighter is an enjoyable Brinquedo movie with some shitty animation, but you can get past that because of the story and the voice acting. It's nice, and the lip syncing, it's fine. Bobsheaux, I don't know what you're talking about, but it's fine. So, but it's also not good. And it's not better than other movies that I would give a 3 out of 10. Like, I would give shit like Spooky Buddies a 3 out of 10. I don't think it's better than Spooky Buddies because of the obvious problems. It's also got the awkward long pauses like every other Brinquedo movie. So, this one comes in at a 3 out of 10. But what kind of 3 out of 10? It's like a It's like a mid 3 out of 10, somewhere in the middle of that 3 out of 10. I wouldn't give it a low 3 out of 10 or a high 3 out of 10, because I wouldn't give Spooky Buddies a high 3 out of 10. Oh, excuse me. So that's what I gotta say about the Little Panda Fighter. Oh yeah, also this movie is actually called The Little Panda Fight, but everybody calls it The Little Panda Fighter. I guess in the original Brazilian title, it's called The Little Panda Fighter, but for some reason, Brinquedo fucked up and they put in The Little Panda Fight. No, I did not watch a third-party copy off of some random-ass website. I got this off of Video Brinquedo's YouTube page. And it says The Little Panda Fight. Brinquedo, you just do more stuff to make it seem like you're foolish. Also, is it just me, or does this movie seem to remind you of Billy Elliot? A movie that I've never even seen before. Wow. Wow, that just got awkward. And now we've come to our fourth and final movie after me rambling on in an unprofessional manner. Seriously, I'm looking at these other guest shows and I'm thinking, man, they spend so much time and energy on this. And what am I doing? I'm just recording myself up against a wall. Not even with my face showing, and I don't even have a script. Why? I don't know why. I'm just like that, I don't know. But we've come to our final movie, and what I'd like to call the best Brinquedo movie so far. Hands down, this is awesome, Gladiformers. Now, I say that because Gladiformers is the only Brinquedo movie that I know that treats itself like a real movie. It's also the only Brinquedo movie besides Gladiformers 2, which has not been dubbed yet. Brinquedo, get up on that horse. Then again, you haven't been in active work since 2010. But, god damn it, I hate this mask. I need to get a different one. And Gladiformers is the only Brinquedo movie to be more than an hour long. And I think that seems impossible. Okay, first off, let me just say something about the pacing in this movie. The pacing in this movie is great. By the time we got to the 20-minute mark, 25 minute mark, I was like, huh? Really? It seems like it's only been 5 minutes, and it's only been 5 minutes. That's what I'm thinking to myself, like, this don't seem like it should be a Brinquedo movie. It seems like an episode of anime. I feel like I'm watching an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! While I watch this show. Again, a show I've never seen before. Kinda weird, you know? And I think it helps because there are 4 kids actors in this one, but then again, there are 4 kids actors in other Brinquedo movies. They just do it the best here. Another good thing about this movie is its lip syncing. The robots in this movie do not seem to have mouths that move with the words, except for the Supreme Bots, and they're shit, but they barely show. But you'd barely even notice it thanks to the whole Gladiformers is actually good thing. So since there's really no mouths to work with, there's really no bad lip syncing in this movie, which already puts it high above the scale on any Brinquedo movie. Wow, so many good things about this movie, even though they were so basic. I barely even went into detail about them. So, you'd like to know about stuff like the plot and the animation and everything else. The animation, still shit, but it's better than, say, Ratatouille, What's a Balloon to the Rescue, and even Little Panda Fighter. The anime, I mean, it's still shit compared to real CG movies and even bad CG movies. But it's still miles ahead, miles above a lot of other Brinquedo movies. And I gotta say I like it, but there are 2 well, there's one thing I don't like about it, but let me tell you about that sooner or later. Before that, the animation actually has this really nice dark quality. It has some nice lighting. The gladiformers, I was about to say gladomorphers. By the way, Bobsheaux, when's Transformers month gonna come? The gladiformers look different, like you said. And you don't really confuse anyone in the story, and I actually remember a few characters' names. Now, there's one thing I don't like about this animation, and it's that the camera seems to like to pan a lot. Like, anytime somebody just sits there and talks, like, as cars, the camera's just like, the camera's just always like this, like, okay, that last part was not what it was like, but imagine that first part, like, always, that always happens in this movie. This movie cannot stay still. This is like, this movie is hopped up on ADD. Sorry, this movie is hopped up on too much sugar. It should really calm down. But other than that, the animation's not too bad. Now, let's see. The plot is that there are these beings called the Supreme Bots, and they're holding gladiformers captive so that they can compete. Oh shit! So that they can compete in gladiatorial-style fights for their amusement. God, I cannot speak. For their amusement, because, well, the Supreme Bots are sadistic bastards. That's it. And, well, that's just about it. It's as basic as you can get it. Robots fighting. That's it. Now, there's one thing about this movie that doesn't work, and it's the fact that the gladiformers are even cars. I don't know why they're cars and not just robots. Like, I know they're trying to capitalize on Transformers, and the Transformers were cars and other vehicles. But there's no point to the gladiformers being cars in this movie. It's like in Shark Tale, where there's no point in it being set underwater. They don't have a reason to be cars. They don't utilize their abilities. They don't utilize them being cars in, like, fights, in, like, walking or anything. They're just cars because Transformers. And that kind of hinders the movie there just a little bit, but you don't really notice it. You don't really give a shit about it. One thing that this movie has above other Brinquedo movies... Okay, I keep on saying that, but there are a lot of things this movie has better than other Brinquedo movies. And I hate to be a broken record, but, again, especially Ratatouille. For one, these characters I actually enjoyed. I can even remember some of their names. Here, let me just list off some of them. Magnum Tutor, Mora Jarte, Julius Drive, Project One, Corjo, Disblow, fuck, there's more. Maita Gortim, let me think, there was one more. But yeah, I just listed off 6 Brinquedo characters there. Now, can you tell me how many characters I can list off from Little Panda Fighter? Or Little Panda Fight, as I'd like to call it. Official English title there. Pancata, Mr. Polaris, Shin, that's 3. Ratatouille, Marcel Toyne. That's it. That's 1. What's Up Balloon to the Rescue? Amy? Guido? There was something along the lines of that. But, that was just about it. Pierre and Zhu Lin, some Chinese name for that boy. But yeah, I remember these characters' names, and honestly, them as characters better than the other people. Now, this movie may be better than other Brinquedo movies, but it's still not good. I mean, there are parts in the movie where they stop you dead in their tracks just to give you exposition about, oh, their past and stuff like, you're from the kingdom up north of us, and you saved my life, so now I am indebted to you, and I cannot fight my master So, kind of ends the movie there, but it doesn't do too much damage to the movie in terms of it being Brinquedo. And, there's another thing I wanted to talk about, and that is the soundtrack and also the voice acting. The voice acting here, passable. It's passable. It's not good, not bad. It's on the level of other 4Kids production. Now you might be thinking to yourself, 4Kids fucking sucks. I don't want to hear a 4Kids production. 4Kids versus Brinquedo. Take your pick. 4Kids. There you go. Gladiformers has 4Kids actors, and they do their best to be 4Kids, and it's good. It's passable. Okay, sorry, it's not good. It's passable. And then there's the soundtrack. There's like this one rock song, and there's like some other rock songs in the background, but that's just about it. The soundtrack's not memorable. It's not ear-biting. Sorry. It's not grating to listen to, like... Actually, now that I think about it, Ratatouille and What's Up Balloons to the Rescue didn't really have soundtracks. Well, it's not grating to listen to. It's actually kind of on the ears, and I like it. Overall, I'd say... Overall, I say Gladiformers is a 4 out of 10 for me. Now, you'll notice that I've been going in order from least to greatest. But that's not the case. I actually just chose whichever one took up the least amount of space on Google Drive and the most amount of space on Google Drive. Ratatouille, 41 minutes. What's Up Balloon to the Rescue, 45 minutes. Little Panda Fight, 49 minutes. And Gladiformers, an hour and 7 minutes. That's all I did. It just so happens that these movies got progressively better as I kept on watching them. So that's just it. There's really no order to it. Now, I'm sorry this review is like this, you know, complete shit. And I don't want to disappoint you guys, so if you have any advice for me, like, as a reviewer, to, like, grow, leave a comment in the comment section. If you like it, like this video, and subscribe to my channel, because this... I had no script to this. Oh.
Revving up their engines, barely even covering ground. Ratatouille has good food, they say it's the best around. Highway to the Brinquedo zone. Right straight through the Brinquedo zone. Heading into rip-offs full of cheapness and such vile. With Gladiformers ripping up the city, crashing through the aisles. I went through the Brinquedo zone. Gonna take you right straight through the Brinquedo zone. Pretenders go to school while the animators just sit and drool. You never know what they will do, while I'm sure high and drunk as too. Out among the skyline waiting for that critic response. Sure, maybe they'll change scenery, but still waste time eating lunch. Probably Ratatouille, it's the best. Highway through the Brinquedo zone. I'm gonna take you right into the Brinquedo zone. Gotta love going to the Brinquedo zone. Always through that Brinquedo zone. Right straight through the Brinquedo zone. Brinquedo zone. Gonna take you right straight through the Brinquedo zone. Right into the Brinquedo zone. Don't forget to eat at Ratatouille. They have such great food. Oh, the food is so good. It is just the best. It's made with lots of love and care. It's just the best, you know. Oh, look at Tony go. He's barely making 3 inches of. Wait. The Combo, shut up. Look at Chopstick Panda. He's getting beat by the leopard.